When you mentioned, I think I wrote down the question of this topic right here, that you've seen a lot from younger people, like a look, callousness. And I know kids have always been brutal. Like we were all
Yeah,
kids. Kids were
yeah.
always mean. That's just you have to be taught. You have to be taught and socialized in society. So that's not how we behave in public. This is how you talk to people. This is how you treat people. But the isolation, it all comes back to Marx. It always does. But the isolation and the atomization of society has gotten worse and worse and worse as time goes on. And I first had the beginning inklings of this when I was a kid, because I grew up on military bases and I knew all my neighbors. We all
Mhm.
were like, especially if you were overseas and like you were the only like American pocket in this foreign country. So you grew up with these kids around you. Everyone moved every 3 years. So your friends, you had new friends every year. You lost friends every year. And so you got to know them. You went out and played and everything. And then when it came to the States, I realized that I didn't really talk to my neighbors anymore. I just never did.
Mhm.
And then getting older, I was a recruiter in the military, and I would talk to these guys, these 16, 17, 18, sometimes 20, 22-year-old guys. And you had to fill out references. You had to do academic or professional references and then personal references. So I said, okay, for your personal references, just give us 3 of your friends. And I can't tell you how many times I had these guys look me dead in the face and say, oh, I don't have any friends. And I said, come on, you don't have any friends at all? And then I say, well, pull out your phone. You say you have no numbers in there? It's like, no, I mean, I know people, but I don't really hang out with anybody. This happened all the time. It
Dang.
happened. And
Wait, when was this? Were
this
you
would have
what,
been
like?
2018, 2019. That's when this was starting. And then I started seeing more stats on this as time goes on. COVID hasn't made any better. After COVID, the
I
big
was gonna
jump.
say
So it
that.
was
Yeah.
pre-COVID when this happened. Yeah, it's important to note.
But
And hmm?
I was gonna say no, because like the internet, man, right? Because
Yes, that's
where,
it.
where you were, right? When you were growing up, even the friends you made, even though you were able to make new friends, it's kind of like these are the friends I'm making, kind of because I have to or what's available,
Yes,
right? The
yes,
internet, you can create your own pockets, your own communities. You can find people. You could talk to people from you know West Bubble,
yeah.
and why? So why would I make friends that people next? Why would I make friends with people who happen to be next to me when I can just
Yeah.
talk to this person I actually care about whatever, right? And then, like you said, COVID made it even worse. And then now, yeah, people. I feel like yeah, people are way isolated. I'm more isolated than I was pre-COVID.
Right,
I was
exactly.
outside pre-COVID. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, my God, she's so nice.
Yeah, that's the conclusion I came to as well. That this is, I hate saying this. No one has more pain in saying something than I, right? But the boomers were right about this. That's the only thing they were right about. They boomers whiffed on pretty much everything. But when the internet first became a thing back in the AOL days or whatever and stuff,
Wow.
they said, oh, this is gonna keep people in their houses all the time. They're gonna be isolated. Society's not gonna be as social. And I remember saying that's ridiculous. With these machines, we're going to connect with people from different states, from different countries. It's going to bring a lot of people together. That is true. However, it has come at a very high price of social engagement that in
Mm.
every area, like people go to bars less, people go to parks less,
Because
people
folks are
go to,
tired. They don't want to hang out with their coworkers after work. They want to go home.
yeah,
They want to
yeah.
go home. I'm tired. I was gonna say the same. I was thinking the same thing when you were talking. I'm like, I saw a video of Gen Z. They're like, they don't want to go to hang out. They don't even have money to hang out because they're not getting paid enough to go spend money at a bar. They're like, you guys used to do that? That's crazy. And I'm like,
you paid extra money to get drunk. You can do that at home, right? Yeah, and and especially since like what you mentioned, a good point here is that it grants you full control in how you
mhm,
have fun. Because if we were neighbors, let's say, and I was like, hey Jay, let's hang out on Saturday. And it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? Oh, well, I wanna go, there's like a softball game or something. Like, I don't really like softball. What else you got? And then we just banter stuff back and forth. Well, how about a movie? That movie sucks. We have to actually work together to find out a way to have fun. But now it's, oh, I want to watch Goodfellas again. I don't need to wonder if anyone else wants to see it. Oh, I can go home and find. And you don't even have the limitation that we had back in the day where you had to find the movie. Oh, do I have this
mhm,
DVD? Do I have to go
yeah,
find somewhere to rent it? No, anything you want to watch, any game
yeah,
you want to play, any topic you want to study, you can do it where you are. You don't have to move at all. And that really tamps down your interaction with other people, which has the unfortunate side effect that you start caring less about other people. I mean, I like to think that hasn't happened to me. I like to think I still have the same amount of empathy for it, but then again, I didn't grow up this way. And that's what I was concerned about. And I was wondering if you started to see that. You actually answered before I even got there, that maybe you're starting to see the inklings of this.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like that. It does feel like that. That and you know, again, it makes sense. You know, like again, I go back to my personal politics, which you know, I wouldn't even. I know I'm not gonna say I wouldn't. I wouldn't even. People wouldn't even identify me as a leftist. But I know, you know, as I keep learning and reading and listening to people, whatever, I know I see a world where I keep going down that way, right? Because it doesn't make sense. And almost all of my quote unquote takes of more, you know, to the right are just because of the situation we're in, right? Like we're in a capitalist society. We're in the United States, right? I don't like the military. I don't support the military, but I know because of the situation we're in, because of money is old, because of where the United States is, if we didn't have a strong military, we'd be doomed. So I know that, right? I don't support the military. I'm not for the military, but it's set up where we need to have a strong military or we're done so. Right. The United States has their hands all over different parts of the world. It's just how it is, right? I'm not pro-capitalist. I'm not yay, keep raising money, but I need money to survive. I need to work. I'm on social media. It is fun, but yeah, I do also make some money off of it, and that helps me out and pay bills. I would personally, if I won a mini lottery that I don't play, I would pay all of my debt and work at a regular job for minimum wage and be perfectly fine, right? But I work because I have to.
Yeah.
So a lot of my politics come from me wanting to be somewhere before I have to be. And what I mean by that is like I met the first person that would introduce themselves to me as a trans person in 2014, right? And you know, they spoke to me about it. They didn't have to. They educated me about it. They didn't have to. I still didn't understand it, but I was in the spoken word poetry world, and this person shared their poem, and I heard other people sharing their poems about the trans identity, and you know, I was like, that's rough. That sucks, right? And around that time, I was like, I don't want to be convinced to believe something or thought or that something's right or hey, this shouldn't be a law. I don't want to be there when I have to be, like when I have a trans child, when I have this, when I don't want to be I don't want to get it because it impacts me. So any and all of my politics, I try to decide if I were impacted by this, if that was my kid, what would I think? I guess that's where I stand now. Even if I don't get it, because I don't want to. I don't like. One of my biggest fears is my kid having whatever identity, and them having to even think about. I have to let my father know. I'm like, what did I? What am I doing? What did I? Because you know, again, and that's gonna happen. That's bound to happen, right? Because we can think we're as progressive as we want, but I mean, based on what we said, it's not true. But the next generation will have more access to more ideologies and more progressive ideology, and maybe lean more left. And things are going to be, we're going to be the ones saying, "Oh my God, back in my day, it was never like this." We're going to be the ones saying that. That's just what time tells us, right? And one of my biggest fears is that I have a kid that has to tell me, "Dad, this is who I am," and they're afraid that I'm going to hate them for it or disown them for it, right? So again, and when it comes to my politics, I just try to think, how would I feel in this scenario, and can I try to get there now, even if I don't truly fully understand it. So again, I don't see myself as super political, but in 2024, that is super political. That is left. That is left leaning, giving a crap about others, and I feel like people are not.
No, that's it. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's it. People do not give a crap about others, and because of that, when they see all of what Donald Trump is doing, they say, "Yeah, but my grocery bills are high," and I get it, and I also get that.
Yes, yeah.
So you know, it's just
the issue is that I dunk on that too. Is that this country is filled with millions of people who would slit their mother's throat to save 20 cents on a gallon of milk, and we kind of know that. However, the problem does also lie with the Democrats in that what exactly is the Democratic message to help with that? When people actually complain about their economic prices or their economic stress, the Democrats will come forward saying, we're going to we're going to craft a policy to give first-time home buyers a $15,000 tax credit. You've lost people already. You've lost them already. It's done. You need straightforward, simple messaging. This is what I'm going to do. This is how it's directly going to affect you. Not 5 years from now, but right now, we're going to fix it. And to do that, you got to challenge capitalism. And so that's where.
Yeah, you gotta FDR it, bro. This is
You
how I'm
do.
gonna help you now, and this is how I'm gonna help you later, and this is how I'm gonna help us.
Yeah. Yeah,
Clear.
because the thing is, like, I shit on conservatives all the time because they're myopic and they're uneducated and simple-minded and whatever. Fine, that's true, but it doesn't matter. They're still voting, and so you still have to appeal to them. But